The original, the only, the one tribal chief, Roman Reigns, is finally back. With his new theme song that he debuted at WrestleMania 40, he came out at the end of the Bloodlines Rules main event between Cody Rhodes and Solo, and he is out for vengeance. He is back for blood on the bloodline to reclaim his throne that he truly never lost, that Solo is trying to take from him. And in the matter of 2 minutes, one man just changed the entire landscape of the WWE, or at the very least SmackDown, because SmackDown for now on up into WrestleMania next year should be absolute, and I know this is a cringy saying, but it's true, absolute cinema. I mean, just think about all of the possibilities that can happen. Inevitably, we are getting a Roman Reigns versus Solo match at some point. I kinda hope that it's not at WrestleMania, because I really want the Roman Reigns and Rock match at WrestleMania 41. Like, just give it to us now. But besides that, we can have a Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu match at a pay-per-view even. That match could easily be a match of the year contender. What I'm interested in is who will be on Roman's side leading in to this storyline. We've seen Roman give a little nod to Cody when he helped him win this match as a sign of respect. So maybe Cody will help Roman with the bloodline. And we know Cody is aligned with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, who also made their returns during this match. But that's a little bit hard for me to see happening, since pretty much all three of those men were beefing with the bloodline for years. The things that Roman and his bloodline did to them may be too hard for them to forgive. And going way back to last year, when Randy Orton first came back from his injury, he made it very clear that he wanted Roman Reigns, and we have yet to see that Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns one-on-one match ever since then. And I believe that that is a match that should happen very soon, maybe as soon as the next premium live event that Roman Reigns will compete at, whenever that is, Bash at Berlin or Bad Blood, whenever. But this Roman Reigns return really just completely shook up the SmackDown main event scene, because there's just so much that can happen. The things that I just mentioned with Randy Orton, something with Kevin Owens, well, maybe not Kevin Owens again, because they've had plenty of beef, plenty of matches, so enough of that. We're still waiting for the return of Paul Heyman, the return of Jimmy Uso. Will Jey Uso get involved in the storyline? Will Sami Zayn, who just lost his Intercontinental Championship on this show, and who has also recently teamed up with Jey Uso, will they both become a part of this storyline, bringing back the entire original bloodline? Minus Solo, of course, when they were at their full strength. And will we get that dream Survivor Series, War Games, Bloodline, Civil War, whatever you want to call it? Will we get that with the original Bloodline, with Sami Zayn, against the new Bloodline 2.0? I mean, there are just so many things, so many possibilities. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think is going to happen in this Bloodline storyline now that Roman Reigns has returned. What are your dream matches, your dream scenario? When do you think Roman versus The Rock is going to happen? Hey, we may even see a Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 3. Well, enough of the fantasy booking. Let's talk about what else happened on this show. The first match of the night was the Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. And this match was pretty good. Liv Morgan was playing cat and mouse with Rhea Ripley, running away from her in the beginning. And that spot where Rhea's shoulder, I'm pretty sure it didn't actually come out right. It looks like there was something there, like a bone or something, but it was still a badass moment when she went to the announce table to pop it back in place, because she got extremely motivated when Liv Morgan took out Dom on a dive. And then later on in the match, she put it back in place again, it looked like, in the corner of the ring, and then proceeded to beat the living shit out of Liv Morgan pretty much for the rest of the match at that point, until Dominic freaking Mysterio, with the swerve that many of us were waiting for at first, when Rhea was about to hit Liv with the steel chair and Dominic pulled the chair away from her. And at that moment, it didn't seem like a swerve yet. At this point, it was still pretty innocent. He was just telling Rhea that she can't win the title by disqualification. but then a few moments later, he goes to the other side of the ring, throws the chair in, and distracts the referee as Liv Morgan takes advantage, hits her finisher on Rhea on a steel chair, and picks up the victory. And then we see that stupid smile on that ugly face of Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan and him smooch it up right in front of Rhea Ripley, ending the 2-year-long, whatever you call it, relationship or manipulation, whatever you want to call it, between Dirty Dom and Rhea. I think that they can drag this out a little bit longer, or a lot longer. Like, they can drag this all the way to WrestleMania and have Rhea finally win back her title at WrestleMania. They might have another match between then and now, maybe at Bad Blood, but I really like Liv Morgan's title reign right now. Her character work, the stories that she's involved in now. I really hope they keep the title on Liv as long as possible to keep this story going. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm just going to go through this one really fast. The match was only 5 minutes and 40 seconds, and it wasn't a bad match, but it was also like the low point of the night to me. But the one thing I will say is thank God, thank the heavens, that Braun Breaker is the new IC champion, because Sami Zayn's title reign was getting very, very stale. And maybe now it's time for Sami to move on. I'm guessing that him and Jay are soon going to be the tag team champions. And as for Braun Breaker, I am very much looking forward to his title reign because he is an absolute beast. Who is going to be the one to take that title away from Braun Breaker? LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Another scenario where, thank God, even more so than the other, that the mid-card title changed hands in this match, because Logan Paul has to be one of the worst United States champions in recent memory. Not because of his match quality, not because of his character, but because of his lack of defending the title. I mean, 3 title defenses in nearly a year is absolutely disgusting work. But as far as this match goes, it was your typical Logan Paul match, which is usually pretty good. And despite my feelings about Logan Paul or his title reign, he absolutely gives it his all every single time he steps in the WWE ring. And in typical Logan Paul match style, we've seen him with his entourage at ringside, as well as MGK, who didn't excite me at all because he hasn't been relevant to me, at least since like 2012. And he hands Logan Paul the brass knuckles, because what's a Logan Paul match without somebody giving him brass knuckles? This match ends with Logan Paul going for a buckshot lariat, but LA Knight counters into the BFT and he picks up the victory, becoming finally the United States champion, which he should have been at least a year ago, but better late than never. And the Nia Jax versus Bayley match for the WWE Women's Championship was by far the worst storyline going in. Not too exciting, but it wasn't a terrible match either. I mean, for what it was, it actually was a pretty good match. Tiffany Stratton, with her new pink Money in the Bank briefcase, would come out and try to cash in during this match, but she was unsuccessful in doing so. And Nia Jax absolutely crushed the soul out of Bayley multiple times to end this match and to claim her throne at the top of the SmackDown Women's Division as their new champion. And her and Tiffany would celebrate as if Tiffany's cash-in attempt was the plan all along. And at this point, we are waiting for the inevitable breakup between these two when Tiffany does cash in on Nia Jax. And then it was time for the match that we've been waiting all year for: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. And to my surprise, Seth Rollins actually didn't interfere in this match too much. There were points where he got into the face of both men, where he got in the way of both of them, but him being involved in this match did not change the outcome that we all thought it would, the way we all thought it would. But what actually ended up costing CM Punk this match was the bracelet. His emotions got the better of him. He found the bracelet, and reclaiming that as more important than picking up the victory, CM Punk screwed CM Punk. And Drew McIntyre finally got his big victory. He finally left a pay-per-view for the first time in forever on top with no other issues. But as far as the quality of this match, CM Punk started off looking a little bit gassed, but once he picked up, this match took off. And although it may not have been the match of the night, in-ring quality-wise, the storytelling that we got from this leads me to believe that we are not done seeing involvement between these three men. In fact, I think a triple threat match is inevitable. Maybe that would be something that we wait all the way to WrestleMania for, or maybe it happens as soon as one of the next few pay-per-views. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this story develops, because in this case, we have something that we haven't seen in the story yet, with CM Punk being at a disadvantage. Now let's talk about a little bit more cinema, the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Gunther. My goodness, the match itself was freaking good. Gunther and Damian Priest beat the living shit out of each other to the point where both men, their chests were red, swollen, and Gunther was leaking blood on his chest the entire match. And they just kept on pounding and pounding regardless. The near falls, the chops, everything they did, the crowd. This match was electrifying and is definitely worth a rewatch. And to take this match to a whole nother level, we seen the turn. Earlier in the show, we saw Damian Priest confront Finn Balor in the locker room after Dominic Mysterio turned on Rhea Ripley, asking him did he know that this was going to happen, and Finn hesitated to say no. And we've seen the beef build up between Damian Priest and Finn Balor going way back to at least when Rhea Ripley got injured and they were having a little debate of who should be in charge of the Judgment Day, as Damian Priest had a little bit of an ego issue as a world champion early on, but now it's come full circle to bite him in the back as Finn Balor will come to the ring, making it seem like he's out there to help Damian Priest, but nope, he was there to do the ultimate screw job. One last screw job for the Judgment Day. While Damian Priest is going for a pinfall, Finn Balor will put Gunther's foot on the rope, breaking up the pin, and he will turn around with a sadistic, evil smile on his face that told us everything we needed to know, that Finn Balor was out to screw over the person he claimed was his brother. Gunther will later take advantage and choke out Damian Priest, and he will pick up the victory, and he is now the new World Heavyweight Champion. As Finn continued to stare down Damian Priest as the Judgment Day has finally imploded. Well, once again, not exactly. They just pretty much kicked out Priest and Rhea. They're going to continue most likely with Liv Morgan involved. Gunther's title reign should be legendary. I hope that it's not exactly the same as his IC title reign, like people on Twitter are saying, that it will be a copy and paste reign. I hope that we get banged. Well, actually, you know what? If it is that really a bad thing? I mean, maybe not have him hold it for over a year, but have banger after banger after banger, because Gunther is one of the best wrestlers in the world. His storytelling may not be great, but his in-ring capabilities make up for it. And that is my SummerSlam 2024 review. Please do your boy a favor by hitting that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, comment down below your thoughts and opinions on SummerSlam. I see a lot of people debating whether or not this was the greatest SummerSlam of all time. It was definitely the best in recent years, maybe in the last 10 years. But I'm not just there yet with the greatest of all time. Maybe over time I will change my mind, but I still say 2002 is freaking amazing. But let me know where you guys rank SummerSlam 2024. And with that said, you guys stay smooth.